Okay, so your screen right now should look like this with all the extra reference lines. Before we begin, one thing that's going to help just so you can kind of see everything when we go to lock everything in, there's going to be a lot of locking, is make sure all of your green reference lines go beyond your table. So if, like this one here, if I click on it, you can see that there's a little circle and I can hold down my left mouse and drag it to the right. And that's going to make it easier to see because they're the lines, particularly the ones here that overlap right on the edge of the table, you want to make sure they extend beyond the table itself. So let me see about this guy up here. Yeah, this guy goes way up here. This one goes here. If some of your words are crowded, you can sort of move them up a little bit. That's going to just help as you like visualize things. So like this line here, it's kind of short, so I'll just pull it up. That's just going to help you as we move through the process. The other thing to explain to you is all this locking in seems really tedious, but in the end, what it does is it means that everything is physically connected, all the geometry, so that when we make the table wider or taller, you're gonna the legs are going to move and adapt with it. So in a lot of ways, this is one of the things that I think Revit does better than SketchUp, because you can make something in SketchUp and maybe change your mind or find out that you made it too short. And if you want to say like stretch that table upward, your legs, for example, would distort. They're not going to kind of adjust the way you'd want them to because everything's kind of stuck together, but the math doesn't adjust. So that's kind of the reasoning behind all of this with Revit. And like I said in earlier videos, it allows companies to make all variations of, say, sizes and shapes that they sell. I also want you to understand this so that when you start to download furniture families, if you want to customize and edit things, this is where you kind of have to muck around and do that. All right, so to start off again, have all your green reference lines extended out beyond the table. And that's just like I said, gonna make it a little easier. This guy here, I might pull up myself. Oops, I gotta drag it here. I'm gonna drag this whole thing up a little bit. Hold on, I'm kind of got it on. There we go. Okay. Just so we can see it too. We'll do it with this one really quick too. So take a minute. I'm holding down the name of it and kind of pulling it off like that. So if I click there, left click, see the circle in the middle of the name, pull it out, then I've kind of got a little bit more space to put my new numbers in. And this guy I'm going to bring up too a little bit. Oops, I kind of keep getting the edge of it there. It's being fussy. There, we'll get it up higher like that. Okay, so you're going to first start up over here on the annotate. And what we're first going to do is lock in all these 1-inch reference points so that, again, as we move our table and shifts, they're all going to stay in this location that we've determined. So we're going to say annotate and aligned. And this is the part where at some point I forgot to lock one of, actually, if you watch the video, I forgot to lock right here. So when I went to make the table longer, the two legs on this side like blobbed and stretched out to the right. They distorted. So I'm going to kind of sequentially go slowly so we can catch all these, and I might miss one too. So we'll see. So we're here on the aligned. I'm going to left click from this reference line to the one right above, and then pull off into space over here and left click and then lock. So we got to remember to lock them. And then we're going to go from this one here to this top one. Now, if for some reason your lines are overlapping and you can't quite get on the green line, the tab key will also kind of jump you over to various reference points. So like, I don't want the edge of my table, I want the green line. So we're going to pull it up here, lock. I have to remember to do this one. Like I said, this is the one I discovered later on I forgot to do. So oops, hold on right there. Pull it off over here, lock it. This one now on the right side, I'm just getting those two inner lines, pulling it off over here, locking. So now all four corners of this part of the table leg are locked in. Right now, so what happens is over here, these two are basically the same thing. And actually, this little guy here will, whoops, we'll hit escape, pull this line out just a bit more. Whoops, I'm trying to get on this guy right here. There it is, just so we can see that. But these two, top and bottom, are already locked in over here on the left. So I just need to do the left, right. So I'm going to go annotate, aligned, and go from this line to this line, drag it, my dimension kind of command over to the left here, lock, this one to this one, drag over here, lock. Like I said, top and bottom are done. So now down here on this one in the bottom right, the left and the right are already locked in at the top. So now we have to lock in this top and bottom one here. So this one here, pull out over here, lock. Again, top to bottom. I'm pulling my dimension down, hitting the little lock. So this whole 4 corners all set. This guy right now, just double checking it. These two are locked. These two are locked, top and bottom. So this guy should be all set. And again, if we see a problem in this one, now we'll know why. So everything's all locked. So we're ready now to go ahead and put in our table legs now to actually create the shape. So we go over to create, and then we do blend. And then before you start drawing, make sure you're on the rectangle up here. It keeps defaulting to the line tool. So you'll see it a couple times as we do it, but click the rectangle. So we're first going to do this smaller square right here. This is the bottom leg of the table. So before we go anywhere, lock everybody in. And what it's doing is it's locking itself to these green reference points. Now we want to click edit top. And now we're going to draw this larger square like within the box right there. That's going to be the top of our table leg. So again, lock everything in. And I'm going to do all of these together with you. So then we're going to click the green arrow, and it should look like this. Then over to here, we're going to do the blend again. So it's create, blend. We're going to make, again, go back up here onto the rectangle tool, pick the smaller inner square, click, make sure to lock all 4 locks. And then we're going to click edit top. And again, I think I'm on the rectangle tool. And then we're going to make this larger square. And again, click all 4 of the locks. And I'm just going to repeat the process down below, but I'll kind of narrate as I go. So here's the green arrow there for that one. Now to the bottom here, again, it's create, blend, the smaller inner square. Oops, it defaulted to the line there. That's what happened. So I hit escape, click on the rectangle tool from there to there, lock all 4 locks. Click the edit top now, and then the larger square. Click like that. All 4 squares, or I mean all 4 locks again. This one you gotta, I think they get them all. Oh, there's one right there. All right, and then green arrow. And now the last one over here, again, it's create, blend, and then the rectangle up here under modify, and then a small square. Click all 4 locks. Click edit top, and then the larger square. And then again, click all 4 locks. Alrighty, let's see how that goes. And click the green arrow. All right, so there's my 4 legs. Now, this is when we'll find out if things got like distorted. So if it happens to me, I'll show you how to fix it. If it doesn't happen to me, like I said, I'll send you a link to the video where it did. And I kind of had to walk through. And in that video's case, I don't know if I discovered it while I was still recording, but I forgot to lock this guy right here. So when I went to make my table longer, all the legs on the left side weirdly stretched because they weren't locked into the math here. All right, so the way we test this before we go any further is we go over here to on the top left in the properties tab here, right above it where it says family types. We're going to click on that box. And I want to change the length of my table. So I'm going to change it to 8 feet, hit apply. Oh, yay, they worked. Okay, so it's hard to see the 2 legs are underneath my words here, but if you saw what happened on screen as I made my table wider, the legs basically jumped with it. So I'll put it back to 5 feet so you can see how it kind of goes back to it. Click apply, and now they've gone stuck together basically. Now they're not quite set up yet to the height, so we have to lock the height of our legs to the tabletop. So what we want to do for that is go to the front elevation. I'm gonna, in my case here, you'll kind of see what happens. If you have it on, I think we had it on shaded still, click it now to hidden line. It'll just be a little bit easier to see the legs kind of in the front and the back. All right, so in my case, I'm gonna click this front leg here, pull it up, and then there's a little lock here. So now we're locking the top of my table leg to the bottom of my table, which makes sense as we kind of move it around. This right here, this guy back here, this is the one on the back side. We're going to play with that guy in a minute. You can do it from here, but you kind of lose track of what you've locked and haven't locked yet. So in this table's case, I'm going to pull this foot up a little bit. This is where it's a little irritating. And then I got to pull it back down. Now it's showing me the lock. So now I've locked it. So this front left leg is all set. Now the front right leg, I'm going to click on that, pull it all the way up to the top, click the lock, and then I'm going to bring it up from the floor. And then once I bring it back down, now I have the lock option there. So I've locked that one. So the two basically legs on the front side are all set. Now we're going to go to the back part of the table. So over here on elevations, click back. And here's that leg now on the left side. So we're going to pull that guy up, lock, and then since it's still highlighted, here's the bottom. Pull that up, pull it down, hit the lock. Now the one on the right side, click that guy, pull it all the way up to the top of the table, click the lock. Now pull the foot up, pull it back down, lock it. Now we're going to do this similar kind of thing with the length. Now test the height to make sure everything's working. So way over here to the top left under properties, we're going to click on family types. And now we're going to change the table height. So right now I've got mine at 3 feet. I'm going to stick in 18 inches. And again, in my kind of error-filled earlier video, when we did this, one of my legs was still jutting way up here because I forgot to lock it somewhere, I think along the top there. So you can see that. What happened is it jumped down. I'm going to show it to you in 3D. We'll play with a couple things just so you can see it. So here it is in 3D. Let's just play with the width since we haven't done that too much. Oh, you can change that leg width of the legs themselves. Let's do that really quick now. We're talking about, let's say 3 inches, apply. See how they just got really skinny and kind of tapered? Kind of like that. That's sort of like a mid-century modern. I might leave that there. So let's just practice the table width here. So let's see, we'll make this a really skinny table, 1 foot, apply, see? Okay, that's too thin. That's like really narrow. So I'm going to make that 2 feet instead. Apply. That's looking pretty good. We've already played with the length, but let's just do that again just to make sure. Apply. Okay. I think I liked how I had it before, so I'm going to hit cancel. Oh, wait, I got to go back up here. So let's see the table width. What did I have it at? 3 feet. Let's see, apply. Oh, no, it was the other way around. So there's the width, table length. Let's see, I kind of like it like this longer look. Okay, there you go. All right, so get it to the shape and size you like. And now you're pretty much done with your table.